Good evening and welcome to our second dialogue of ABWCI. I'm really very excited again to talk to you and also to welcome Haider to our show. Haider is our global ambassador based out of Canada. So first of all, I want to talk about ABWCI. ABWCI is a virtual global chamber of commerce for women working towards social and economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs. As you all know, that globally there are, different chambers all over the world, and they're working locally. But what ABWCI is doing is ABWCI is working on the entire journey to take this voice, this entire thinking globally as such. And our mission is to establish collaborative ecosystem to engage, network, identify, and leverage market opportunities globally. And with this, must have seen, and you are all our members, we are now engaging with various stakeholders. We are engaging with government, civil society, private individuals, companies, to see that, how we can create this entire thinking about, creating a larger, bigger ecosystem as such. To do this, we also feel that there is a consultation, there's a dialogue which is needed from this perspective as such. ABWCI Dialogue is a chat series to create a productive space that invites key stakeholders of this ecosystem to join and listen to women in business and industry experts, talking about their ideas, journeys, experience, and challenges. Today, in this episode, we will talk to Haider, our global ambassador, and also looking at how he, from global south going to global north, now based out of Canada, how he is helping women entrepreneurs and also helping entrepreneurs in general. And this will be basically very, very helpful for us to understand what is the psyche of investors, because there are four things which are needed if you want a successful business to operate. One is access to capital, access to entrepreneurial ecosystem, access to good technology, and access to market. And this is really, really needed for this. And to bring this entire thinking of it, we have requested, Haider to come on this dialogue series and let us know his experience, his ways, and what is the expectation of investors when they come to invest. Now about Haider. Haider was born in a small town in Bangladesh from a humble middle-class family, which he writes. Now he's a global citizen, and with over career of over 30 years, he's very influential in his ways working for the betterment of society across the globe. He's the founder of IPSSL Group and business which he creates business summits, a platform to network, and also an e-marketplace to connect with the right business partners, advisors, investors, and the government organization and agencies globally. We are delighted to have, Haider today and as a guest speaker, and also to take this forward. I have few questions, and I feel that, these questions will really help our women as our audience and our women as entrepreneurs to see how we can learn from your experience, Haider. Welcome to ABWCI Dialogue, Haider, and we welcome you and we feel honored that you are joining us today. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you.
So to take this dialogue forward, I have some basic questions, which we felt that are important to take this entire episode and also the series forward. Coming from a humble background from Bangladesh, now in Canada, from your journey, what was important as an entrepreneur, yourself? Because first we want to know your journey, and then we'll come to your new, you can say, the way which you do in terms of, because I've been following you from very long now. So I see you very successfully integrating the whole values of entrepreneurs with investors and all that. So first, your own personal journey, and then we'll come to how you're helping and how we can learn from you. Over to you, Haider.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure joining ABWCI, and thanks for crowning me as global ambassador of this prestigious organization and effective organization. Thanks for your question as well. My name is Dr. M. Haider Uzzaman. As you have mentioned adequately, I do live globally, but I say that I have an address in Canada, but at the same time, I say I was born in a country like in Bangladesh, but I think I have spent more time overseas than in Bangladesh. So and it has been a long journey of many years, over 40 years by now, and to over 130 countries and territories in the world. Well, the journey of an entrepreneur is very important, that what you have in your mind, what you want to do. Like I used to, dream something. Like a spirit has to be created within your mindset that I must do this. I want to do this. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a business woman or businessman. That is what has to be the goal. That has to be the mission here, and that should be driven by an excellence, a zeal, a feeling, a challenge, a heat, something that will generate like an airplane is taking against the air. It's not taking in favor of the air. So like in my early stage in my life, what happened? My father was a big businessman in Bangladesh. He was one of the largest food grain supplier of the government. But at one stage, my father back in 1980, beginning of 80s, he became almost bankrupt. He went out of business. And that put us into big crisis, like from a very higher than a middle class family, we dropped into a lower middle class family. And it was a challenging affair for me to continue my education and education of my other siblings. We are 7 in numbers. So that really hit me that, oh, I saw something. We had a car. Now we don't have even a bicycle. And my mom used to cook 4 or 5 items every day, every meal. Now we are, brought down to one kind of vegetable or fish or meat. So that's the situation. Oh, my father is selling land to pay our education fees for the 7 kids. So that really hit me. Oh, I need to, bring it, I need to really fight it back. So that gave me a big chill. So back of my mind, it was like I wanted to revive my business or revive the business of my father. But I could not do it immediately. What I had to do is I had to take a job. I had to, work somewhere. But back of my mind was the business. So that was my target. So every single person, those who are listening here, I'm sure some of them are in business and struggling. Some of them are having problems. Some of them are having issues. Some of them do not know how to start the business. Some of them are thinking, but not just going. Some of them already went into the business and lost money and just, thinking what is the next. That's normal. This is very normal. And one should not be surprised because it's like, jumping from one place to the other or if it is a marathon, you cannot be winning in one go. You need to really keep on trying. And those who, like I say, snake charmers, if the snake charmer is very afraid of catching snakes, he won't be able to catch the snakes ever. So he has to be prepared that the snake will definitely bite him, and he has to take his all preparations. So in business, one thing that I have learned from my early life is that there will be success and unsuccess. In job, there is nothing as unsuccess. You cannot be unsuccessful. Only a very small chances are there that if you are completely non-performing or very poor performing or intentionally not doing the work in your office, the boss will be unhappy, the organization will be unhappy. And there is a very small, slimmer chances of losing your job or not getting into your position that you want to get. But in business, it's on a daily basis. And it's a, I think the business is the biggest challenge in the world. The entrepreneurs are facing the biggest challenge in the world. Think about yourself, think about myself, think about other friends of us who are here in this room tonight.
So lot to learn because Dr. Haider, my thinking is what you're saying is making a lot of sense for our entrepreneurs across the world, because today, entrepreneurs from across the world are joining, your network is joining, your friends are joining, and also members of ABWCI joining. So what I have, gathered from what you are saying is, what is important is if there is uncertainty, there is also success. And there is also the thinking, if you are not, if everything is simple, it's going simple, I think then we are not looking at large rewards as such from that perspective. And the learning is that, one time does not stay, as it is, as you're talking about your family and all that. There is a relative question to this. When you started as an entrepreneur, how did you start? And how did you start from the background which you're talking about and the thinking of it? So if you can talk about that, you're starting and where are you now today? And also, how did you create? So these are two questions to one. One is the question about, you starting, and then how did you create this entire network?
Thank you. The way I started, it was a very, very challenging journey. I used to work, as you know, from my background, that I used to work with the United Nations. I was in UNICEF as a senior officer, and I left after 4.5 years. And the small amount of money I got from my retirement from UNICEF, that was my capital. And that was only I think 2,50,000 taka, which is about $5,000 those days. And that was my capital. I bought a car basically with that money and started renting the car. Those days there was no car rental companies as such. So I started renting my single car, but I invited few other friends, those who had cars. And I said that you have 2 cars, give me 1 car. You drive 1 and I will manage this car and get you some revenue end of the month. How is it? So 1 or 2 of them friends, they were very excited. They said, oh, sure, my 1 car is sitting idle. So I brought others' cars. So I made it to be a 5 cars fleet. So I started operating the 5 cars fleet for my clients. And that is how I started with a single car and became a car rental businessman. And I brought later on Hertz Rent-A-Car, and our fleet went up to 650 vehicles. That was a mammoth success story. It grew like anything because the market was completely empty. There was nobody, no Uber, no Grab, no Ola, nobody was there.
Which year was this, Dr. Haider?
That was back in 1991.
But this is great because the thinking is you realized that at that time that there was a need for cars in Bangladesh, because as I go frequently to Dhaka, I see that still that business is doing very well, being Uber or many other service providers, but still the car rental is quite successful.
Absolutely. And then also, I got a contract with a big project that they were asking a lot of logistical support. What I did is I did a study on the niche market, that where there is nobody, no player, nothing. And I started the company called One House Logistics, like one call does it all. That was my dialogue.
Wow. A lot of learning, because you wanted to create a single window for all the support that people needed. And that was needed and still needed in Bangladesh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the company was my client was Procter and Gamble, P&G from India. They were going and they gave me a lot of business. So many of the clients, and they were demanding that one day, some of the business basically my client gave me. And so one day, one client demanded, can you get us security guards? I said, I have never done it, but I can. Yes. So when you say yes, you can, then you take the responsibility and it becomes a challenge for you. So I took a challenge. Overnight, I looked for one of my former colleague who was a security guard in my company. And I brought him and said that, can you organize 6 security guards and 1 officer and arrange these to be deployed in next 3 days? He said, sir, don't worry, I will do that. So that's how I launched my security company. I got the contract first and started the business. That was probably, I was very lucky. But because this was niche market, there was no security company those days.
These are all, stepping stones, because what I'm saying is what the learning our entrepreneurs should get from you is nothing is small, and if you are willing to explore, if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to understand the market and you are a go-getter, I think nothing is small from this perspective. And what we have to do is we have to follow a dream. One has to be a dreamer. These are things which one can learn from entrepreneurs like you, Dr. Haider, because today I see you doing so well in not only in business, but also in your network. So this is what, and from there, what was the journey after this business? How did you, how did you shift?
It was a long journey. It's a long story. It will take probably a few days, but I'll tell you in a nutshell that, I started locally, then I started transforming, like bringing world-class brand like Hertz, world-class brand like Z4S. Yes. I formed a joint venture. First security company, when it was growing, I brought Z4S and let them handle. And when I was a boy of 25 years, I appointed a foreign CEO from India, Mr. Pradeep Singh, to run my own of the business. So that was a kind of an entrepreneurial spirit I had and the leadership capability I had. So, and I didn't, have it from the birth. I had to, gain it out of a lot of work. Out of 24 hours, I think some of the days when my, other friends were going and playing in the football field, I used to work 16 to 18 hours. There is no substitute of that. And there is no substitute of learning. The business is all about learning, like how you talk, when you're talking to a business partner and you are not giving proper attention, the business partner will never do business with you. Like if I'm talking to you and I'm just thinking, I'm talking like this, will you give me proper attention?
No.
You won't. You will think that this man is insane, that he's not giving me any attention. He's not listening to me. He's not giving an attention to him as well. So it's absolutely important to deliver the precious services to the client, to the stakeholders, to your partners, to your staff even, to your colleagues that are working. I think number of my colleagues here joined from all around the world. Number of my, the mentees and devotees, they're also here. I can see some of them, not too many, but some of them are already here and they're listening and they know how do I operate my business. So since then until today, it's all about a quality I'm striving and thriving and fighting for. Likewise, I say every single thing is a quality, that how you talk is very important. How you act is very important. How you are bringing a cup of tea, that is also important. If you are bringing a cup of tea with a saucer, and then the moment if you are bringing the tea carelessly and some of the tea are dropping from your cup, and then the moment as a guest you take the tea and the few drops gets down to your shirt and tie and your dress is damaged, how would you feel?
No,
What
that's
would be
true.
your feeling about?
And these are basic etiquettes, which, and this is a candid conversation today. I'm very glad that you're very particular about it. And a lot of people are learning that, because as you know, all over the world, there is now many people. If you look at the late 90s, then now in present time, they want to become entrepreneurs, and they also want to take the plunge into entrepreneurship. So I think from that perspective, you started from Dhaka, and then now you are a global company as such. From this perspective, what are the qualities you feel are important when an entrepreneur wants to go global?
Thank you. Well, you need to feel global yourself. You need to make your mindset that you are a global. Like when people are asking me, where are you from? I don't answer. I answer, I'm from this global village, because I believe in a concept of global village. The world is too small to me. The world is not too big. Once upon a time when I was small, when I did not travel anywhere, my village was the biggest thing. I used to think the village is big. I used to think my country, the city is big. I used to think Dhaka is big. I used to think Bangladesh is very big. I used to think, oh, Asia, when I visited India, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and all those countries, Maldives and all, then I thought, oh, Asia is big. Then when I started going into Europe and Far East and North America, oh, that's pretty big. And then when I traveled most of the continents, all of the continents and everywhere, every corner in the world, then I see the world is too small. And we are, it's all flat. Everywhere is the same. And we have just been divided, that this is India, this is Bangladesh, this is this country and that country, but the world is same. It's nothing big, and it's easy to reach from one corner to the other corner in 20 hours. It's a 20-hour journey.
Oh,
world
wow.
is a 20-hour journey.
Yes,
Nothing
good. This is a good thinking, and Dr. Haider, and good to see that, people like you who have not only become successful, but made many people successful, I can tell you. Because the reason is that, as you're saying, from this entire perspective, it's a 20-hour journey. You can reach anywhere from Australia to US, and maybe from US to maybe Latin America, and then coming to South Asia as such. It's maximum 20 hours, the longest you can say a plane ride. So my thinking is, as you summed up, to see that, from a small village, which is from grassroots, you went to capital, and from capital you went to another capital, which is a larger capital of the world, which is Northern America. And now you're based out of Northern America and now conducting business. So from business, from Dhaka now to a global thing, what are the learnings one can learn from you, if for entrepreneurs as such, learning maybe one or three learnings, which is 1, 2, 3 learning, which you feel are very important to become successful entrepreneur?
Thank you. Well, one is very important, that you need to be a student, not a teacher, that you want to learn things. So every single word you are hearing, every single thing you are seeing, every single things you are experiencing, take it as a learning process. It's very important. As an entrepreneur, we don't take such institutional training, which is a mistake. And this is where I would say that ABWCI should take serious steps to teach or to orient the people that want to be, in business, that want to be entrepreneur. You should be orienting them, because it's not a simple journey. Because I learned from my mistakes, and the mistakes has been too intense in some extent. Like I lost a lot of money, and that has been a very costly affair and all those. So number one is knowledge, that you need to be always in quest, that you want to learn something new and what is going on. You need to be very fast in updating yourself. And then the next is the internet era now.
Technology
And internet era, that you need to be updated on that, what is going on in the world. And if you are not updated, then you are out of business. And then the third thing is your goal. where do you want to go? And multitasking is dangerous. I failed in many ventures in my life. I lost a lot of money into my many ventures because I launched one after the other the companies. At one stage, I had 20, I think, companies, and some of them dropped like anything. So some of our friends, those who are entrepreneur here listening to me, I would humbly request them, I would humbly suggest them that don't look at so many business. Try to do one thing and one thing. And that can be your brand. Like KFC, Mr. Sanders did not start 10 business. Look at McDonald's, they did not. Look at Mr. Tata, they are now diversified, but initially what? You will know Tata as what? For what? Vehicles. And now Tata has many businesses because they have solid ground, and they did not do it at the beginning 100 years before when they started their business. Look at Mr. Ambani. You used to carry and ferry the things, but he didn't start 10 business in his lifetime. His sons are starting many business now because they have the cash flow. They can sustain. They know they have the expertise. It's not only money that you can do business with. Money alone is not sufficient. You need the knowledge as well. The biggest thing you need to have is your knowledge, and that has to be clear.
What learning which we can take from you is, one is you should be aware, and you should create, or you should be knowledgeable about things around you, to see that, what's happening, what is the change coming. You have to evaluate that change. You have to think that, how the change will embrace you. If you don't know that how it will embrace, it will be difficult as an entrepreneur. Second is that technology plays a very big role. Now you have EdTech, you have, so much food tech, you have, so many technology which is there, which will be basically bringing this entire business as such. And third, you are saying that all this, you should be very, very focused. The focus is very important. If you start businesses also, the thing is, there should be, all this business should converge into something, because if you start multiple businesses differently, I think that would be very, very difficult to really look at those aspects as such. So I think that is the three learning as such. My last question, and then we'll open the questions for the audience as such. My last question to you is, what, 2 or 3 things which you want to tell to our women entrepreneurs? As as a man, you have become successful. Okay. We talk to a lot of women, and the women always feel that there is so much differentiation, or there is definitely, men can be successful, not women, if they are difficult, or they're getting a lot of difficulties on accessing the capital and all that. What are your thinking that, how it should really, how should they do it so that they can raise capital? And because you are dealing with so many investors today, okay, and our women entrepreneurs are across the world, what are the learning they can get when they are looking at investment?
Thank you. That's a very important question, because capital plays a very, very strong role in business. That's very, very interesting. And that's what one needs to plan as well. Like many of my business, from my experience, I can tell you, died because of the working capital shortage. I started a business probably thinking that this needs only $100. I'm just giving you an example to start the business, but I did not think that to run the business, I need another $100 as well. So that's where we make a major mistake in our early stage. And that's what I say, everyone, that do a business plan. That's where the education comes. Education means business education. Even if you're doing a small tea stall, you need to do a study, a feasibility on your own. Think and do some feasibility study and see what is your capital requirement. If you need to take a shop on rent for, say, 20,000 rupees or dollars, then you need to think that what is the working capital. You need to buy ingredients. You need to keep the business afloat before you get the revenue, before you get the profitability and cash flow. So that's very important. This is one aspect is missing. And many of our entrepreneur friends are struggling right now because they never foresee these kind of things. So it's very important to prepare a business plan. Every single person that want to do business should do a business plan. I'll just give you an example. One of my very young friend, a very young kid from Bangladesh, her name is Rumpa. She's here. I have given her a crown and named her to be the mushroom queen in Bangladesh, because she is the only one I can see selling mushroom, promoting mushroom, doing mushroom. She's talking about mushroom 24/7. And she was very frustrated 1.5 years before when I met her first. And I have been telling her, no, you should continue. You should not give up. You should do this. You should diversify, and you should, try. And look at her LinkedIn profile today. She had zero visibility, because when she was posting something, nobody used to look at it. I was only the one probably in some states that was putting a like in her post. Now today, anything I'm watching, that anything she's posting, she gets immediately 20, 30, 40, 50 likes, meaning she has diversified, she has brought the ideas much more clearer. She has added value already. So it has taken time. So she needs to learn. I'm just giving you an example. Same goes with the multi-billion, multi-billion dollars worth of business. Well, coming back to your point that how we can help the global female entrepreneur. Yeah, it is more than 50% of the world's population is female right now. So we have over 4 billion female population in this planet, and we definitely cannot ignore, we cannot definitely just avoid them. It's very important that we empower them, rather. We need to utilize them. And I feel more comfortable, and you will see that I have probably referred so many of the candidates, those who are only female. And today, unfortunately, my apology that we two male are talking. No, and I'll be expecting our female friends to come and ask us questions. No, but next time I would request you to please bring one of our female partner, female global ambassador or our country president to be also co-host in addition to you.
But Dr. Haider, I just wanted to put it properly for all our audience and also people across the world, is that what is important is also men supporting women. As you are one of the biggest supporters of women in terms of talking about women, helping women on not only on creating value, but creating capital, also helping them, mentoring them, and all those aspects. So my thinking is, it is not that, two men are talking. It's basically two main supporters, who are supporting the whole ecosystem, and you don't know my story, because my thinking is we have created ABWCI, which is one of the world's largest platform on this earth for women entrepreneurs. My thinking is there's a story behind it. The story is that, why women suffer, when they're starting businesses. When they are starting businesses, they should have the best technology, they should have the best capital and all that. So I think the reason is we need more women, and we need more men to support women entrepreneurs. So that's what the thinking is. And I'm feeling honored that, you're talking about this, and, you're aware, and people like you as global business, I can say businessmen and network owners who run on not only summits and also promote businesses, this entire thing is very, very important. So thank you so much to talk about this. And I will now request our audience, if they have any questions, they can type on the chat box, and I will be more than happy to take those questions as such. Yeah.
Thank you, Parul. It has been a pleasure answering your questions. And I would like to say that with my last 40 years almost of continuous work and passion, I have developed a solid ground in access over 150 countries where we have our own presence. Some of the countries we have our own office, Some of the countries we have very, very strong partners, starting from the president of the country to somebody as a security guard. Even we have someone that I can call, we can call and say, we have something to do, that we need your help, and let us do it together. So those kind of solid contacts and communications we have, that we can connect anybody within few seconds when somebody will struggle for a year to get that done. So that's one thing. And then we have definitely financing partner from all around the world, especially from the US, UK, Singapore, and Japan. We have, and Korea as well. Chinese, definitely, Indians. We have different partners, different funders from different part of the world. So we define the project, where it is and what kind of projects, and we line it up with the appropriate funders to fund the project. So this is what I do, just for your information.
No, thank you so much. I think this is really nice. I think I was just looking at a lot of comments which have come from a lot of people, who have written on the chat, in the chat box. Everybody appreciating your value, the work that you have done in creating. Some of your really mentors, which you are mentors to some of the women entrepreneurs in across the world, who are appreciating your value and the work that you have done as such. So with these words, I think not many questions as such today, but I really want to wish you good luck and best wishes from ABWCI. And also, my feeling is that, there will be a lot which one can do with this entire women entrepreneurs as community. And this community would be helpful for as you said, that 50% of the entire world's population is women. My feeling is that they should have the due share, in not only in the capital part of it, investment, and also looking at the wealth they should create. They should become more as wealth creators in this. So thank you so much for participating in today's dialogue, and also thank you for being our global ambassador and helping ABWCI grow. So I'm really, really helpful, for this. I think there is one question which, somebody has posted, and so can we have that question?
Sure. If there is a question, definitely we are ready to answer.
So somebody is asking that why did you leave your job from UNICEF?
Thank you. Because job is job, paycheck is paycheck, service is servant. So, if I'm doing a job, probably I would be the Assistant Secretary General of United Nations headquarters and leading a better life with OPM, other people's money. But I did not want to be that. I wanted to create a lot of ecosystem for my people. Like today, I can say proudly that we have created over 100,000 jobs in the world. We have employed over 1,000 people. One of my company that I formulated that has employed, is still employing over 88,000 people in the world.
From a job seeker to a job provider. It's basically, so the thinking is that starting from the entire thinking of that, you getting a job, now you're providing job, which means that, you have created wealth for so many people, and you are working and helping millions of families worldwide. So thank you, Dr. Haider, for your these words, and also thank you for your contribution to this global world and creating this larger, bigger impact. I really, from all of us at the Secretariat, I want to thank you for coming to this show. And also this as you know, this show is it's basically twice in a month, and I will also now will be inviting other guests so that we can work and talk to our ambassadors, our country presidents, and also women entrepreneurs to share their journey, share their experience, and learning should go on. As you rightly said, never stop learning. Be a student, always learn. I think those are the words which you said. And with that, I am signing off. Thank you, Dr. Haider, and we will see you soon. And thank you so much for coming to this dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to express my thanks and give a vote of thanks from all of the members joined here, that you took this initiative. I must salute you for that. You have taken the right initiative to empower the women, and your team, our team has been doing a great job. I do admire and appreciate, and this should be global, and this should be big, and this should be a movement around the world very soon. We'll be seeing it as a very, very successful organization globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Haider. Thank you for your kind words. And we need you as global ambassador. We also need your help, support. We need your network, friends to support us. I think this is the only organization which has started from a global organization, started from Global South, and it is growing all over the world. So very soon, you will see us in 195, 196 countries worldwide, as we have now. We are in 22 countries right now. So thank you so much. You are a shining star, Dr. Haider, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
All the best.